Hey, so I'm just dropping up a quick little video here. This is a Ranga Model 5, which is a pen I've been wanting to get for a long time, a couple of years. I wanted it with a number 8 nib, and he hasn't had them in stock for the whole time that I've been looking, which is coming on for 2 years. He does sell them without nibs, and he will sell it without the nib. Bored out for a Bock number 8 nib. So in the end I decided to go for it because I've got a couple of Aspine number 8s, I've got a couple of Wingsung number 8s, and I thought I'll just see if they fit, and if not then I'll buy a Bock number 8. So I bought it and I tried both of those and neither of them fit. They were both very, very loose in the section, so the Bock number 8 housing is obviously quite a lot larger diameter than a Aspine or Junlai Wingsung. What I also had though was a couple of spare Junlai number 9 nibs, so I thought I would try one of those, and it very, very nearly fit. That was just slightly too big. The nib would go, the housing would go into the section for all but about the last 6mm that was needed. So I just started scraping away at the housing to reduce the diameter, sanding, scraping just with a scalpel blade. I also had to cut off the screw threads from the housing where the cartridge or converter attaches. But eventually, after being careful about matching the taper and making sure it was all a snug fit, eventually I could really encourage the Junlai housing to fit inside the section. And so what we've ended up with is a Ranga Model 5 with a Junlai. Let's see if I can, a Junlai number 9 nib, which I think is just a wonderful match. Now, the only thing that I haven't done right now is, because the nib is probably 2-3mm longer than a Bock number 8, a good 2 or 3, maybe even more. It sits very deep in the cap, and in fact it seems to be a triple start thread. So this one, this start on the thread, I can feel it there, so I'm not going to go any further with that one. There, so there is one start on the threads where the cap will close. So all I'm going to do is just get a normal regular drill in there and just take a couple of millimeters off the bottom. Because the nib is just touching, you can see how far down it goes. So the nib clears by fraction of a millimeter. So the base, the solid part of the cap, is starting around here. So I'm thinking about just taking 3 or 4 millimeters out in the centre, and that'll still leave plenty, so we're not going to burst through the end of the cap or anything. So yeah, so that's that means I've ended up with the Ranga Model 5, which I've been wanting for a long time, and with a number 9 nib, which I'm really pleased with. Let's get that. Yeah. There, that's the one. Cool.